Hi, everybody. Nathan is here once again, and I want you to stay with me. I mean, you can take pen and paper and put down a few things that you think resonate with you. And if you feel something is actually getting to you and actually you want to really apply it, write it down. I mean, I learned the shortest pencil is better than the longest memory. You can't choose what your problems would do to you. That is what I want to let you know. This is the topic that I want to talk about now. Whatever is hitting you, you cannot choose what your problems will do to you. Every problem has a limited lifespan. Now, a lifespan is actually the duration or the period. You should know that every mountain has a peak. Every valley has its low point. That's what you should know. Now, if you climb up the mountain, know that there is always a pit. That is what has caused the mountain to be able to overshadow. And, there are ups and downs in life. One day you could be up, the next day you could be down. The peaks and the valleys are things that you need to handle. You can't always expect yourself to be at the peak, and no one is up all the time. You can't be raining on top all the time, nor are they down also all the time. So if today you are down, know that there's going to be a time that you are going to be up again. Problems do end. Problems do end. They normally come for a period. So when you see a problem afflicting you, don't think terminally, or don't think long term for that problem, because every problem that you see today will come to an end one day. They do go away. Problems will can vanish without you knowing. Sometimes the thing is there. All you need to do is just forget about it, and before you see, it has vanished before your eye. You know, you can resolve problems over time. As time goes, you realize that this same problem that has afflicted me and has been with me all this while, over time, I've been able to cater for it, and it is now gone forever. The principle is evident. I mean, when you look around you, you can see that history has so many ways by which people have been able to overcome. Just a matter of allowing time to prevail over them. So sometimes, after struggling so long to solve a particular problem, all you have to do is to allow time to prevail. I mean, you can't do nothing about it. You get me? You just have to submit and then keep praying about it, that one day, if you don't have the strength and ability to take it away, God, in His own wisdom, will have a way, to take it away. When you look at the history of humanity, you can see so many lives that have suffered their peaks and those who also went into their valley. No, there are times when you'll be at your highest. There are times when things will bring you very low and down. In all these circumstances, you must learn to trust that you will not be at one stage forever. There is a God that intervenes in the affairs of men. And sometimes when it is beyond you to overcome that problem, God in His own wisdom, after you have learned what you want you to learn, will gradually take that problem away. But when you look at most cultures, they try to decay under problems. You get me? Rather than knowing that this thing will come to pass, they'll build a root system and entrench the problem. And then they add their negative influence, and you realize that something that, when given some time, could be overcome. Human beings will allow it to destroy them and eventually put their life to an end. You get me? So know how to handle situations in your life. The decline continues and accelerates until it reaches a low ebb, at which it will begin to wash away gradually. Slow ascent one more. You can see that it is moving and it's going away. And very soon you realize that the same thing that you point at, that you have not been able to overcome, is now gone, and your life is now brighter and happier than ever before. History teaches us that. I mean, when you go through history, there are so many people who has had problems in their lives. People who have done great and mighty things have had and suffered problems in their life. So do you have problems? Know that you are not alone. You know, You are not alone. I mean, they will pass away. Get ready. I mean, very soon you realize that they will no more be there. Your problems will not live forever. That's one thing you should know. But you are going to live on. So be ready to brace the storm. Ready, because the sun is going to shine again. That is the encouragement that I want to give you. When winter comes, spring will also come. That's one thing you should know. The storm will pass, and then anything at all that is happening will give way, and the good times will surely come. So don't make major decisions on these terrible times, because the times are going to change. And when you make major decisions on based on these terrible times, you'll live to regret. Because when the good times are here, you realize that you altered something in your past which cannot help you to enjoy these good times that you are going to face currently. So stay on course, knowing and believing that time changes and situations will not be the same forever. You may not be able to control the times, but you can compose your response. You can turn your pain into profanity or turn it into poetry. And these are profound saying. How you turn your pain is solely up to you. The choice is up to you. You get me? You may not, have chosen your tough time. But your tough times may choose you. But you can choose how you will react to it. I mean, that is definitely up to you. You see, you can't prevent a bird from flying around your head, but you can stop the bird from sitting on your head. So the choice is always up to you. And I want you to know, I mean, in this episode, that look, anything at all, the way you react to whatever is happening to you comes directly from you, and no one can control. You can decide, you know, you know, you can choose to never let a problem become an excuse. Yes, you are tired. Yes, you are fat. Yes, you have this sickness. Yes, you have whatever it takes. But you can choose to make sure that, look, I am never going to let this problem that is afflicting me becomes an excuse. So whatever I'm intending to do, I am going to get it done because there's a problem. Yes, I accept it. But I'm going to really make sure that I'm not giving in to the problem, but I'm going to fight till I overcome. I remember one day hearing Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. I don't know whether you have heard about this gentleman. He's one of the renowned gentlemen in times of old. He was interviewed on national television. Now, this was many years ago. And the interviewer asked him, he said, look, Dr. Peale, how far do you apply positive thinking? Because the Dr. Peale is also a positive thinker. And this is what Dr. Peale has to say. He said, I apply it in the areas over which I have control. Areas in which he has control. That's what he was saying. So there are areas in which you have control, in which you can apply positive thinking. And then he continued. He said, if I buy a plane and the plane, let's say, crashes, right? I have no control over that. I mean, it's like, yeah, you bought a car, the car had an accident. You can't control that. I thought about that for a very long time. Now, look, I mean, it seems it's speaking some sense because what can you do over a crashed plane? You can do nothing. I mean, it has crashed. And in subsequent meeting, once again, he said something differently. He said, to him, he applied possibility thinking not only in the areas of life, but also in other areas of life. Now, this man is saying that there are so many ways under which you can apply positivity thinking. No, but actually, what Dr. Vincent Peale is saying is that we can control our reaction. Whatever is happening to you, it is possible to control how you react to that situation because you have no control over the action taking place, but how you take it can be controlled. We can control our reaction in every instance. Somebody can hit you with a blow. You can decide, no, I'm not going to mind the person. You can decide, let me give him a harder blow. So it is up to you. Now, when you control your reaction to, any problems that hits you in life, then in effect, you are doing control measures. You are trying to put yourself under subjection, and you want to affect yourself because your reaction is the most important. How you react is the only thing that is in your domain, and you alone are the only one who can take care of that reaction. It can make you a better person or it can make you a worse person. Now, what I want to say is that, look, have a principle of deciding how you are going to react to issues in your life. And when those issues happen, make sure you apply those principles. Because it's not everything that you have to respond to. There are certain things that just happen in your life to drag you back. There are certain things happen to divert your course. And there are certain things that happen that want to cause you to lose focus. So you are bent on finishing a particular project, and somebody walks in, disrupted you, and the person is diverting your attention to something else. Maybe that thing that the person is saying to you could be very challenging. He could be, hurting your feelings. He could be saying things that are untrue. But the decision lies with you to decide how you are going to react. You can decide to stop what you are doing and try to answer him negatively, or you can choose to say, look, I want to finish my project, and that is what matters to me. So you need to ask yourself, what is your most wanted response? If your most wanted response is to finish that project, you must make up your mind that nothing that anyone does or anything at all that is pushed at you, you are not going to mind that person, but you are going to focus and finish that project. And when you adopt this kind of attitude, you realize that whatever you determine to do in life, you can complete it. Because in the course of doing those things, problems are going to come. But then the decision has to be made that, look, I set out to complete this job. And for that matter, irrespective of what the problem means to me, I am going to finish, and I won't mind anything that distracts my attention. Anything that is not pushing the needle in your favor, you are not supposed to stop what you are doing and focus on that particular thing. After you have realized that, I know this is what I want, this is where I'm going, this is what I want to complete, this is where I want to put myself, I want you to focus like never before. So that nothing that comes your way will be able to distract you, to cause you to focus on something that is also negative. Now, the sixth point that I want to tackle here is that there is a negative and a positive reaction to every problem. Yes, negative and a positive reaction. Now, in the final analysis, the tough people who survive the tough times do so because they've chosen to react positively to their predicaments. Right? Everything that happens to you is a predicament or a good thing, or that decide to react positively. This is not always as easy as it sounds. There are times when it will be very difficult, but then when you have made up your mind and you've made it a principle that you are always going to, react and answer positively to the troubles and the challenges that come into your life, that is what is going to happen to you. See, for example, the problem of an unwanted pregnancy is a very skewed example, but let's look at it. What are the options? What are the alternatives? Which solutions are really solutions? Look, an unwanted pregnancy, the baby is already implanted, and then you can't do anything about it. So why don't you embrace it? You know, it is said that what you embrace becomes grace, and grace is a gift. So you realize that it has happened. You can't abort the baby. You can't do anything about it. So it's you can embrace it. When you embrace it, it becomes positive, and God gives you the grace to overcome. You get me? The positive, or reaction is the one that will contribute most to the collective self-esteem. So try and react positively. And I know that when you do that, you will be able to see every situation that comes to you and then know how you are going to react. It's not going to be easy from the beginning, but as you practice it over and over and over and over and over and over again, it will get to a time that you realize that your life will be in tune with that. And now anything that happens to you, there is a way that you answer to it, and that answer is going to be to your very benefit. Now, when you sit back and you think about it, you realize that, oh, okay, yes, as bad as it was, you like the way you reacted to it. And for that matter, you can always do that anytime when such a thing ever happens to you. So your reaction is important. Take note of that, and I believe you'll be okay. I'll see you in my next video with all the challenges series and the positive thinking. And I know that it will be a blessing to you. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.